Hello and welcome. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this is Dwarf Fortress. Can you Daggers? Something like that. Actually, is that the only civilization? I just realized. You know what? I didn't even check for nearby civil. Oh. Well, if there's nothing near us, I might have to try and figure out some way of doing fun. But it is nice to see that everything's running pretty quickly at high frames, at least for the moment, until we start getting into the major magma projects and fun. I've already slated some stuff out to be dug. Some stuff to be dug out. That's probably how that sentence should go. Just basic stuff. I'm going to try and limit the pathways instead of 3x3 into 2x2. And we're going to see how that works. These 4 rooms here are actually going to be farming plots as long as this all turns out to be black sand. So hopefully it does, and I can just put farming plots here. They'll actually, I guess they'll either be 4x4 or 6x6. I'm not sure which. And then over here we'll have a stockpile. We'll either have a stockpile here or here, and then the opposite one will be an animal pen if I need it. I still intend to keep dogs either here, which is what I'm more thinking of, or here. My issue with... just checking something real quick. My issue with putting dogs here is if I, block this off and we have an attack and we're fighting... Maybe I should have a staging room right here. I don't know. I'll have to think that out a little more. Also, I noticed we have a lot of gold. I noticed it when watching the video back. So there's a little gold there, you see, and a little gold there, and you're like, okay, well, there's some gold. And then a whole bunch of gold there, and I didn't see any more gold, but yeah, with there being a lot of gold right there, we're probably going to be able to make ourselves rich very quickly. Whether that's a positive or negative, to be seen. I do remember, though, that there was supposed to be a brook somewhere near here. And I am not seeing a brook. So, water might not be an easy thing to get access to. Unless it's just over in that far corner where there's some fog of war, whatever you want to call that. To figure that out. Also slated some trees to be cut down. That should get us enough starting wood that we'll be fine on that. A lot of black sand over here. But so the important thing about magma, having that nearby, I'll be able to make a virtually unlimited amount of glass discs and just basically anything I need that requires, and I would not know why. No, I don't want to turn filter keys on. Again, since I reset everything on my computer because of the hard drive crash, I don't have my normal setup. But the magma will allow me to quickly refine metal, glass, and even clay, I believe. Though I've never done anything with clay, so that'll be something fun to experiment with. Cornerstone of our industry will still probably be some sort of glass item, maybe enormous glass corkscrews or something. I will not be putting them in weapon traps. So I did look into something, and it seems the issue that might have caused the crashing for the last series is that when weapons break in weapon traps, they can cause a crash. So I didn't know weapons could break in weapon traps, but 2, I didn't know about that crash. Apparently, so that's something I'll have to deal with. Meaning 1, probably will not use weapon traps But two, if I do, they will have to definitely not be glass. And how that stone came into that room is kind of annoying. What type of wall is this? Deck site? It could be nice to make the fortress. I see the glorious, glorious microline. Yep. A map without microline isn't a very dwarven map. But, yeah, and I don't really know how long I'm going to run these episodes. Probably the same length of time, about 30 minutes, maybe all the way up to 45 minutes, just depending on what I've got going on in a particular episode. As far as skipping over things, I'm probably going to do what I did in the last series. As things slow down, I'll do more and more off camera, just allowing it to run in the background. Even when events happen, I'll allow them to kind of accumulate and then bring everyone back and have an episode where it shows what's happened. And hopefully, if we can't find excitement above, because I'm thinking that's our only civilization. Let me see. Yeah, civilization world info is C, and that's it. Ooh. I thought there were plenty of civilizations nearby, but we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, if I can't find anything coming from the outside, we'll just go deep down. And I'll make that a priority of ways to fight things. Though we should still see mega beasts and whatnot. Werebeasts, cursed creatures, things like that. Hopefully not a were-ass again. As amusing as that was, I would not like to deal with another werebeast early in the fortress. Looks like neither of those rooms are really going to be good for animal pens. Well, let's we're gonna do it this way. I was going to do it slightly differently, but this won't get me exact uniformity, but it'll get me as close as I can probably get. See, because of the stone right there. Alright, well, we'll make that work somehow. Maybe I should put animals on the other side. Then again, I'm not going to have any real grazing animals. It's hard to decide. But we'll let that go. Not try and give my dwarves too much to do at once. But since the temporary bedroom is done, if you're familiar with my style, I like to create a temporary dormitory. Yeah, you can use that. I like to create a temporary dormitory that later becomes a training room / barracks. Now, with this, what I could do, and this is a thought, I could set up this room, smooth and carve fortifications out of these right here, and then station march dwarves so that it's always a, like when they get stationed up here, enemies try coming through here, they're going to deal with march dwarves. And then maybe a staging area here And that'll be where I have the melee dwarves, so there might be some crossfire there. Carpenter's Workshop. I need you to build beds. Feels like everything's moving so much faster now. I guess that's just after having done with a fortress that has half the frame rate. Everything seems to move twice as fast because it's running twice as fast. Where's the other miner? What is he doing? Oop, wrong button. Maybe taking a break, getting a drink? I don't know. Ah, there he comes. Yeah, I picked 2 miners. I've got some stone crafters and wood crafters that are in overlapping territories. Like they will both do the same things. Mostly just to make sure I have those tasks done, but also because when you're in the early portion of the fortress, some dwarves are just going to overlap in their tasks, and it'll work out better. As I get more dwarves, I'll be able to separate out their jobs and create better specialists. The miners, I've given some, well, minor tasks too, in addition to their mining labors, but nothing significant, nothing that would take them away from mining, because when we start to breach the lava, what I'm probably going to do is create a foundry floor on this level, and then channel on this level, so dig the square below all the way out and channel under where each of the smiths will be, and then create a floor underneath them. And then the smithing workshops can sit on top of that. That, or I'll set up some other type of interesting way of doing it. In fact, I'm actually already thinking of maybe dig out the floor above, dig out most of the floor below, but leave the lip, and then channel the lip out, and something like that. I'll figure it out. You'll be there with me for it. We have struck hematite. Oh, there's some hematite down here. Yeah, we should be good on iron. So this means there is no excuse not to build a military quickly. However, whether there is a need is the other worry now. Let's build a stockpile. Actually, let's wait until he finishes mining that. Okay. Stockpile. It will fill this whole room. And I should have set the settings. Let's see. Oh, D. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want anything else. So everything's disabled. Except for food. So that's going to be that. I should probably make a general stockpile as well, just to get everything out from the wagon. And a refuse. And yes, I did not make that quite even. Yeah, that'll be big enough refuse pile there. Struck some more native copper, crossbow bolts, is what that will be. I think iron, well, bronze. I have some, I think it's 10 I need to make bronze with copper. Because I think bronze is as good as iron. but not as good as steel. So steel is the optimal armor making material if I can get if I can't get adamantine, steel would be the optimal armor making material and weapon making material for most things. BP. And let's get our farmers working. Plump helmets. Plump helmets. Plump helmets. Plump helmets. You can grow sweet pods in the spring, pigtails in the summer, pigtails in the fall, and dimple cups in the winter. Quarry bushes. Cave wheat. More cave wheat, and then more dimple cups. But I think the only thing I can do with dimple cups is make them into wine, I believe. I could be wrong. Now, where to set up my initial broker slash bookkeeper, and I think that's gonna be here. So we have office, bedroom. I'm not gonna give him his own personal dining room. And our dwarves are almost done digging all this out. Now, do I want to take ramps or stairs to go down? I have no idea what kind of deeper metals will be on this map. I think I need more coffee. And yet more hematite though. Alright. And beds are still being made. Yeah, actually I kind of forgot. So absorbed in watching my dwarves dig. Cherry wood? Oh. I should probably send some plant gatherers out to actually try and get some of the fruit. But there's the idea that they might get stuck up in those damn trees. And I'd really prefer that not to happen. I think we also lost a good portion of one of the trees I slated to be chopped down. This one over here. Pecan leaves. So what's the gather plants? Oop. Will you gather? Oh, no. Oh, I did something wrong. Remove designation for one. D, P. There we go. Maybe those aren't ripe. I wonder if these are ripe. I don't know what these are. We'll just try a sampling of... unless gather plants is not how you do that. Well, we'll see. I probably don't need the food right now. It's mostly just a idle curiosity. Hmm?
It is now summer.
So we have arrived in summer. I think we want to get some crafting done before we get to winter. Build, workshopped, R? Yes. We'll just start with some basic crafts to be what the dwarves first make. Okay. Let's, this is going to enable, no, actually disable stone. Enable, enable, enable. So I want to create a just general stockpile. I will eventually limit this to something, but for right now I want all the dwarves to bring everything out of the wagon. And I guess they'll bring all the collected gems we have. Ooh, and someone already built this. Make some rock crafts. Let's do that on repeat. And then I'd like you to build some doors. Alright, so now our doors are actually staying busy for the moment. And we'll probably get rid of a lot of the stone that's just laying around the fortress. But I think that'll be it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. I'm Inverta Umbra, and this has been Dwarf Fortress. Can you dagger?